We have an interesting exhibit here called Cars of Future Past. These are concept drawings that were done by a man named Irvin Rybicki. Mr. Rybicki started working at General Motors in the late 1940s and worked his way up to become the global head of styling for the corporation during the 1970s. You very seldom see original concept drawings because the car companies keep them under lock and key, and many of them were destroyed after their usefulness was done. Mr. Rybicki's sister is our member of our board of directors and owns this collection. And I wanted to point out a few things. We were just talking about the 1954 Chevrolet Corvette, and we have a concept drawing that Rybicki did in the early 50s showing the concept of the double tail fins that appeared later on the Corvette, and they also appeared on the 1959 Pontiac. This drawing, which dates to the early 50s, shows that Rybicki was playing with the idea of splitting the grille on the car, which was a very innovative idea. They put that into production on the 1959 Pontiac and was a trademark for Pontiac for many, many years. When General Motors was developing the Corvette, all the other divisions wanted in on the action, and they wanted a version of the Corvette. And the corporation did build show versions of the Corvette for the other divisions. This is a rendering for a version of the Oldsmobile Corvette, and it predicted the large oval front bumper, which went into production on the 1956 Oldsmobile. It also predicted the hooded headlamps, which were featured on that car and were also featured on other General Motors cars of the era. This is my favorite of all these concept drawings. It's very space age. You have Saturn up here with the rings, and it's just fabulous. And these tail fins on this car predicted the look of the 1959 Cadillac. Again, you have the exhaust tips exiting through the body, which they introduced on the 1953 Corvette. It's just a wonderful rendering, and we're very fortunate to have this as an original, and we're very fortunate to be able to exhibit this here. Another drawing was done for the front fender detail on the 1954 Cadillac, and there's a photograph of one right here, signed by Rybicki. Another one of Mr. Rybicki's drawings confounded me for weeks. I kept looking at it and I kept thinking, I know what that is, and I couldn't place it until one day I was looking at the museum's 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air, and I realized that the drawing was for the turn indicator lamp on the 57 Chevy. In 1948, General Motors introduced the tail fin on the 1948 Cadillac, and that started the whole styling craze of the big tail fins that lasted until the early 1960s. This drawing is playing with the idea of a jet engine inspired side air intake. They used that on the 48 Cadillac Fleetwood and then developed it for several years. This photograph is of a 1953 Cadillac Fleetwood and shows that little fake side air intake that he's detailing in this drawing.